Here we go. Tap those likes. I'm Blockchain Crusader, crusading through these blockchains every single day, guys, and we are back for another live stream this morning. It is December 30th. We are in the last 48 hours before 2026 arrives. And the question is, where is Bitcoin going to be in relevance to silver, gold, and everything else that's happening in the markets? Is Bitcoin getting ready for a massive Q1 in 2026? And is silver just going to outshine throughout 2026, right? We're going to be covering this and a lot more in this live stream. So make sure you guys are dropping your questions into the chat. Make sure you guys are dropping altcoins, questions about silver. We're also going to be doing a segment where we're going to be hunting for silver quarters here in a little later today. Might be in a separate live stream, but we're going to be doing that later today as well. So make sure you stay tuned for that. For in case you guys didn't know, I'm going to run a fun little experiment here. I have a piggy bank that I've been accumulating quarters and dimes for the last 20 years. For the last 20 years, I've been just dropping change, right? Quarters and dimes into that thing. So we're going to be going through it and see how much quarters we have in there, how many dollars we have in there in total. And if we can find any quarters that are from 1964 and before, which are 90% silver, we're going to accumulate them. We're going to convert them into actual. We're going to sell them. We're going to sell them. We're going to sell them. So if you guys are interested in that and everything else that's not silver, we're going to convert into silver and run a fun little experiment to see if we can still make profitable money buying physical silver at this point in time. I personally don't believe so. I personally do not believe there is too much more room to make a lot of money on physical silver. I want to make a clarification. Do I believe there's still a lot of money to be made on silver futures, trading futures for silver? Absolutely. Now, that's very different than buying physical silver and then selling that physical silver for a profit. That's going to be a very different story. So I'm going to run the experiment on buying physical silver at these price points around $74, $75, whatever it is that we're at today, and see if we can actually run into profit and then be able to cash out in profit. Guys, make sure everybody jumping in here on TikTok. You're tapping those screens, filling up those like meters. If you're over here on YouTube, do so as well. Make sure you're smashing those likes. Guys, let's see here. Can you explain the 4-year cycle and where we are in that cycle? Guys, the 4-year cycle is no more, right? The 4-year cycle is no more, in my personal opinion. The only way that we can dictate that the 4-year cycle continues is if we have a massive dump into the 60s and $50,000, right? $60,000 to $50,000 price point for Bitcoin into 2026. I personally believe the way things have been playing out that 2025 was the bear market. That was the bear market, and I'm going to explain to you why I think that, right? Why do I think this is the case for Bitcoin? I'm actually going to show you on this other chart here for Bitcoin. So I know over here on TikTok, you're not going to be able to see it, but I'm going to explain it very, very well so you guys can understand what I'm talking about. Zooming out here on the daily, let's turn on some of these price ranges. And here we go. So let me turn off this other indicator, clean this up. Very simple here, guys. As you guys can see, Bitcoin has had multiple 30+% drops throughout this rally into 2024, right? As we entered 2024, we were rallying throughout 2023. We had a 33% drop, our first big significant drop for Bitcoin back in June of 2024. That's when we bottomed out around August of 2024. That was 33% from the top of around 73,000, 74,000. We go and rally 122% from that bottom, going all the way up to 109,000 by January, December of 2024, 2025, January. And then we crashed down, pulled back, whatever you want to call it, 31.83%. down to 74,000. Since then, we rallied another 69%, hit 126,000 by October, and now we've pulled back to 80,100, 80,500, which is a 36.24%. Overall, we are still in higher lows. See, we have a low, we have a higher low, we have a higher low, which is still a bullish market structure for Bitcoin. For Bitcoin. But overall, altcoins have been down 80 plus percent, right? We go to altcoins and we look on the monthly, we look on the yearly, and things, only very few of them, Pippin, I don't know what the heck this thing is. Zcash has been an anomaly, obviously, in the last couple of weeks, but everything else is down 60, 80%, 60, 80%, 60, 80%. Everything's down 60, 80% when it comes to altcoins. So it's been an altcoin bear market all of 2025. All of 2025, altcoins have not been able to really make any significant rally at all. Now, Bitcoin has had that 36% drop. If we are going to believe that the 4-year cycle is broken, this is something that we're looking at, right? Which is smaller bear markets, smaller trends, which is 36% drop instead of that 60 plus percent drop. Now, this thought process would be invalidated if we drop down to the 50s, $67,000 to $57,000 price point, right? Then we will have a full on retracement from, if we measure from the top here, right? If we get from the very top, come on, get the top, and we drop down to 49, let's go down 60. 60, that'd be a 51% drop. If we drop down to the lows of 2024, we're talking about 49,000. 49, 50,000 is a 60% drop, then that thought process would be invalidated, right? That the 4-year cycle is broken. The only way to prove that the 4-year cycle is not broken is if Bitcoin drops down to those levels. Now, is there a reason to drop down to those levels? There are some targets down there. Not saying that we are going there today by any means, but if we zoom out here on this other Bitcoin chart, right, we do have a yearly range here for 2024, and we do have targets between 67 down to $57,000, and the value area low of the 2024 range lines up with 48,500, right, with what I showed you. So if we do come down and rotate this full range, then yes, absolutely, if we start falling below 73,000 and entering this range, 4-year cycle is still intact. We're still going to have those massive 60 plus percent retracements. Until that happens, we have to assume that we are going to continue to the upside in the midterm, mid to long term, right? We are going to potentially continue to go to the upside. Not saying that we're going to go to all-time highs, but I'm just saying a rally to the upside is in the cards, right? A rally to the upside is in the cards. We can still rally back up to 114 and still drop back down to 67. Like, that's still possible. But that's all I'm saying is, until we don't enter that 2024 yearly range, which is below 73,000, we can't say that the 4-year cycle is still 100% intact. Are we in a bear market? I mean, many would say that we have been in a bear market. I would agree that we've been in a bear market, not for Bitcoin, but for altcoins. And we're starting to see in 2025, we've been seeing a decoupling from Bitcoin and the altcoins, in the fact that Bitcoin has been running and altcoins have just been behind. They have not made any new all-time highs. Yes, they've rallied a little bit with Bitcoin as Bitcoin's pushed, but the Bitcoin dominance has remained high. Bitcoin dominance right here, 59.5%, right? Staying at that 59 to 60 plus percent throughout the majority of 2025 has not really allowed altcoins to have any significant rally. So that is the reason why altcoins are not moving. Even though Bitcoin's price has moved significantly, big altcoins are struggling because the Bitcoin dominance just won't drop. So it's been a bear market for altcoins. It's still been a bull market for Bitcoin. Now let's jump on over to silver. I just posted a video about this, right? Silver right now pushing through $75,000, pushing through $75.63, right? Very critical area here to hold. If we lose $75.53, right? If we lose 75.53, we will be dropping down lower. We do have targets all the way down to as low as $68 to be going to for silver. Now, if silver begins to hold $75, as support. We are going to be seeing for a potential push to this gold pocket right up here at $79.22, which lines up with the previous week high of $79.31. Something to be very careful with, for if this area is swept, right? If we get rejected from this $79 area, we could be rotating this back down a lot lower throughout the following weeks, or the following week overall. So just something to be aware of. Just because we flip 75 doesn't mean we're out of the hot water and we're just gonna blast off the 90 to 100 to 100. Maybe it does happen, but we have to look out for this critical area here around 79 as the next area of a potential reversal to the downside. Let's keep jumping here into the chat. Gold, silver, XRP, period. Well, let's go take a look at XRP since you're so bullish on it. Let's go take a look at good old XRP. XRP right now has been nothing but in the dumpster fire recently. So unless something has changed, let's see. Maybe something has changed. Maybe something has changed. So XRP here right now continues to be in its downtrend, overall downtrend, right, that it's been in for the last 2 quarters since July. Just massive downtrend for XRP. XRP here has been living multiple dailies, almost 2 weeks worth of data now below this green support zone. If you guys don't understand why this green support zone is so important, it's because we've spent the majority of 2025, well, all of 2025, and the very ending of 2024 above it, right? We wicked below it in April. We bottomed, pumped. We only spent like 3 days down here. On the 4th day, we pumped back up, right? On the October, October liquidation, we closed back above it. Very critical. November came, we dumped 2 daily candles below it. 3rd candle, we got back above. Now we spent 2 weeks. This is the longest amount of time we spent below this support zone of $2, meaning $2 is building up resistance, right, for price. So if we cannot hold 179 as support for XRP, and especially if Bitcoin drops down more, right, if Bitcoin pulls back more, it will pull the altcoins down with it, meaning that if that happens and XRP cannot get above $2 and Bitcoin pulls back even further, right, we will see XRP continue its route to the downside, and its path to the downside is moving towards 157 to 134. Worst case scenario here, I'm looking at 112 to 109. Let me see here. This is logarithmic. Okay, this is regular. So yeah, 149 to 113 are the next big targets for XRP to the downside if XRP does not get back above $2 and Bitcoin starts to pull back again. Let's keep an eye here on the silver chart. Silver is starting to push above this $75 mark. Trying to see if we can hold it here on the 1 hour. We still got 24 minutes on the 1 hour before a potential pullback here. Nope, no settings. Where is this? All right. Silver making a push right now. Bitcoin still not pushing anything. Altcoin season 2026. I'm not saying that there's going to be an altcoin season in 2026. We have to assume that at some point there will be an altcoin season. We have to assume that an altcoin season will occur as Bitcoin, right? The 3 key factors for an altcoin season is Bitcoin pushing towards all-time highs. So in this scenario, is Bitcoin pushing back over $100,000, well over 100, not like 101, 105, like 114 plus, right? Puts Bitcoin back in the contention of running for all-time highs, going up there, and Bitcoin's price holding that support plus the dominance dropping will lead to an altcoin season. If those 3 things don't happen, if Bitcoin price doesn't push towards all-time highs, chops sideways at that support zone of those all-time highs and higher, along with Bitcoin dominance dropping, you will not see an altcoin season. How can we contact you? Go to my link tree. Go to my link tree on YouTube. You guys can see my link tree on YouTube. Go on over there and you will be able to contact me. Let's see here. Should we buy physical silver now? I personally don't think buying physical silver right now is a good idea. Now, trading silver in the futures market, still plenty of money to be made, right? We talked about this massive pullback for the last week. We've been talking about a pullback here from 84. We dropped all the way down to $70, right? A massive drop of, what was it, like 15% plus from this high down here. Yeah, 15, basically 16%, right? Massive drop. Great opportunity for shorting silver at that point in time. Now silver is pumping back up. We're at $75.68. Can silver push up higher? Yes, we do have some overall macro targets. Looking at $87 next. And best case scenario, I'm looking at like 133 for silver, right? But the question becomes, will you be able to buy physical gold and then sell your physical gold in time to cash out and profit before the next bubble bursts? Because if we look at the historical chart for silver, all right, let's go take a look at the historical chart for silver. Look at this chart, guys. Let me zoom out here to the 3-month candle. So every candle is going to be 3 months worth of data. Look at this chart, guys. 1980, we had a massive blow off top, massive rally to the upside. We hit like $46, $48. We spent 23 years before we bottomed out. We spent 10 years from 1980, actually 13. From 1980 to 1993, it took us 13 years for silver to bottom out. Then from 93 to 03, we went sideways. Really no real price appreciation or anything for another 10 years. So 23 years total before the next big rally. Then from 03 to 11, we pumped back up to $45, $48, made a new all-time high, and then we dumped from 11 all the way to 2020. All the way to 2020. So for 9 years, we dumped for silver. Then we had a little mini rally in 21, 22. We went sideways back down, and now we're rallying again. So if you don't sell, if you don't take profits on silver as we approach 90 to, let's say, $216 here, this crazy one-to-one fib saying $216, anywhere between $100 to $200, right, for silver, because you think silver is going to go to $1,000 or silver is going to go to $500. Every time we've had parabolic rises, like any asset, everything that goes up must come down. There are always bubbles. There are always moments of euphoria, and then there's going to be moments of depression, guys. And this is a moment of euphoria for silver. People are getting extremely over bullish. I'm seeing all the silver content from silver holders, people that have been stacking silver for many, many years, which is another massive red flag, is the amount of accumulation of silver by these people, right? Holding tons and tons and tons of silver. So when that happens, what do you think when you see this massive euphoric price? You think these people are not going to sell? You think these people are not going to take profits? People are just going to hold forever? If they do, they're going to end up getting wrecked, guys. They're going to end up getting wrecked because everyone's talking about the shortage of silver. Silver shortage, the short squeeze. And yes, in the meantime, in the short time, we might see a short squeeze. We are seeing one right now. And silver could continue pumping a little bit higher, like I said, into the $100 plus area. But there will be a correction in the market, right? The market will find a way to gather more silver, to create more silver for the industry, because the industries of electronics, healthcare, technology overall needs silver. They're not just going to stop building electric cars. They're not just going to stop building computers. They're not just going to stop building AI microchips. They're not just going to stop building data centers. Like, this is just not going to stop, right? So the market will force a solution for the shortage on silver. I understand China is putting a restriction on exporting silver, right? And there's going to have to be some type of negotiation, some type of talk to open that back up at some point and let the silver flow. So in the meantime, yes, we could still see price go up, but don't get overexcited and think that we're going to just pump forever. That's what I want people to realize. So when is it good to buy silver if not now? Well, The best time to buy silver was when nobody was talking about silver, like every single asset, right? When silver was down at $18 in 23, that was a great time to buy. When silver was below $48 back in, let's say, April of 2025, that was a great time. Now is not such a great time. Not saying that you can't buy it, but if you're buying it, just know you're a lot more risk of buying a local top. So you have to be aggressive with taking profits. If you're buying at $76 like we are right now, you better have a game plan on when you plan on taking profits. You better be reading charts. You better be staying up to date with the news on the silver shortage, right? Because at any moment, if they start talking about silver coming back online on the market and the silver squeeze being over, right, price is going to probably plummet pretty fast. And you might not get enough time to get to the store and sell at profit if you're buying at these local highs. That's what I'm trying to get at. Appreciate that. Says, guys, give them some respect and tap the screen. Greatly appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Thank you. Always do your own research. Don't follow everyone else. 100%, Peter. I 100% agree. Do not just follow blindly. Do your own research. Read your own charts. If you don't know how to read charts, you're like, well, Crusader, I don't know how to read charts. I got the solution for you guys. I am hosting a free webinar this Sunday. This Sunday, I'm hosting a free webinar. You go over to my link tree, right? If you're on TikTok, go to my profile. You'll see my link tree. Click on it. You'll see free trading webinar 101. Click on it. Sign up. It is completely free to sign up. All you need is your name and an email. Sign up, and in the next 5 days, on January 4th, Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, I will be hosting a 1-hour webinar helping you guys learn how to identify market structure, resistance, support, and price targets within that market structure. All within less than an hour, I'm going to help you understand this so that you guys can then go and chart this. I'm not there to make you a day trader or a swing trader on that 1 hour, but that 1 hour will allow you to be able to chart out basic market structure to identify trends of market. Are we going down? Are we going up? If we are going up, what are the targets? What are the resistance? If we're going down, what are the support, right? Are we looking for? That is what it's going to help you in that 1 hour. So it's not going to make you a day trader by any means, but it will help you understand the charts and it will help you understand data. And if you're not analyzing data, if you're not analyzing charts as you're making investments, whether it's in silver, in gold, in Bitcoin, in NVIDIA, in Tesla, in any asset class, you are just gambling. You are just gambling. You're not an investor. You're a gambler. You are at the mercy of every content creator anywhere around the world telling you it's going up, it's going down. And you don't know if they're telling you the truth or not. You don't know if they know what they're talking about or not. So it's like, you don't understand, you don't trust what I'm saying. That's fine. Go read the charts for yourself. Go use the indicators that I use that are all free to use, by the way, on TradingView. Go use them and come up with your own thesis and your own strategies and your own ideas. I'm just trying to help you get there. So for a complete free webinar, just go sign up with the link in the profile. If you need the link, I am actually going to drop it here into the chat as well. So this is the link right here. Dropping it into the chat over on the YouTubes. If you're on TikTok, make sure you go to my profile and click on the link. If you can't find it, send me a DM and I'll reply to you and I'll give you the link directly. Obviously, I'll never DM you first. So if anybody's DMing you looking like me, it's a scam. But you can DM me and I will answer the question. Is this a continuation of the last training or the same training as the last one? It's the same training as the last one. So if you missed the last one, right, I'm doing the same webinar every other week or every week if I can, right? Every Sunday, I'm going to be trying to do the same webinar, teaching you the same basic market structure, right? If you want more advanced technical analysis, right, then you're going to have to become part of the Crypto Citadel. If you're part of the Crypto Citadel, I have a course that is 1 hour and 36 minutes long. It contains over 10 videos explaining how to use all these different strategies individually, what they mean, how to use all the indicators individually, and then how to combine them all into one chart to actually use them and analyze them together to make a trade decision. Are we going short or are we going long, right? And if we are, what are the take profits and what are the stop losses? Risk management, how to open up a trading exchange account on WEEX, Blowfin, BitUnix, whatever you want to use, and how to use leverage, how to overall operate the trading exchange, how to open trades and close trades. We're covering all of that plus the entire trading strategies and much more in that trading course. So if you missed it last week, it is the same webinar again. We're going to be covering the entire same structure, same overall. It's not recorded. It's me going live. I'm live with you guys. So you guys can ask me questions, and it's always going to be a little different depending on the participation and the questions asked. But there is limited seats, right? There is limited seats. So make sure you are RSVPing if you're going to go. If you're going, make sure you're RSVPing by signing up here. If not, it might be too late by the time you go sign up. Question, do you think XRP is going to start really moving in late 2026? Well, it really depends on what Bitcoin is going to do, whether Bitcoin is going to rally in Q1 to Q2 of 2026, which is possible. There is a potential for a 50+% move for Bitcoin in Q1. Is it going to play out? I don't know just yet, but the setup is forming, right? Something that we've been covering in the Crypto Citadel quite a lot in the recent past year, as we're about to end December in the next 2 days, right? We're in the last 48 hours of December right now. So if Bitcoin does have a 50% move to the upside, XRP is definitely going to start moving up, right? Altcoins overall are going to follow Bitcoin to the upside if Bitcoin moves. The question is, the real rally for XRP is only going to occur when the Bitcoin dominance begins to drop. When Bitcoin dominance begins to drop, right, then we're going to start seeing a realistic rally for XRP. And XRP realistically needs to, where is XRP chart? XRP needs to get above $2.20 to make a run for this 258 to 281. Once we get above 281, then XRP has a chance of a real run. But until we don't get up, meanwhile we stay below 288, XRP is in trouble. Signed up, thanks. Good to see you, man. Good. SNW Farms, good to see you, man. I hope to see you in the webinar. Hope to bring all your buddies, get them signed up, get them ready to rock and roll. I think Bitcoin's going to around 105 to 110K. Yes, there is a very good scenario for that, right? Because Bitcoin right now, if we look at Bitcoin in the larger scheme of things, right? If we zoom out here, we're in the 15-minute. Let's go to the daily. All right, just ignore this lower half of the chart here. But this range up here that you guys are seeing on the chart, right, with the value area low being at 96,500 and the value area high at 120, that is the range for 2025. Bitcoin's price is currently below, right? We're currently at 87,000. So as we enter 2026, if we push up and enter this range, entering a range from the bottom side, right, from the value area low, reclaiming this range has a likelihood, a decent likelihood of hitting at least the MPLC. The MPLC for 2025 is developing around 104,000.8. It's going to change in the next 2 days when we officially close out the entire month of December. It might change slightly, but overall around 104, let's call it 105,000, right? That is where the yearly MPLC. So that is definitely a target if we start to get back above 96 to 97,000 for Bitcoin. 105,000 is a very likely target. Now, if we get above 105,000, right, we have a lot of volume up here, a lot of volume. So it is going to be a little bit difficult. We do have a lot of targets between 107 to 114. We have a lot of targets all sitting there. So there is a possibility that we come up, wick, hit those targets, and then start getting rejected. And if we fall below the 2025 yearly range, look out down below for that 67,000. Everything's manipulated. 100% agree, bro. Everything is manipulated. That's not a surprise. Gold's manipulated, silver's manipulated, Bitcoin's manipulated, right? Big money moves markets. It's that simple. You got to play the game if you want to be able to make money, right? To make money, you got to understand the game and then play the game by its rules. Complaining about the rules and complaining that things are manipulated doesn't help you make money. People that complain about Oh, the silver price is manipulated. It dropped from $80 to $70. Guys, perfect rejection here. Perfect rejection. We opened up at 81, we lost it, came back, retested it, dropped down to 8, dropped down to 70. Perfect retracement. We were talking about this retracement in the Crypto Citadel the last couple of days. Let's go take a look over here. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Silver. Look, December 28th, I was looking for the weekly update. I was talking about dropping silver. We already had the drop, and I was like, hey, most likely we're going to have a little bounce here off to 75, and we're looking for $68 overall. We haven't hit $68, but we have dropped all the way down to 70, where we're off by $2 so far before hitting that target, right, which is still possible. So it's not manipulation if you're reading data, if you're reading charts, right? But everybody that doesn't read charts loves to scream on crypto Twitter, Bitcoin's manipulated, XRP's manipulated, silver's manipulated. Okay, if everything's manipulated, what are the people that are manipulating the price doing? They're reading charts, they're reading data. So you might as well be doing this as well so that you can understand where you have a better understanding of where the price is going, reading charts than just going based off FOMO. So if you guys are not reading charts yet, if you guys don't know how to do that, make sure you are signing up for my free webinar. Free webinar this Sunday. This Sunday. Do you trade commodities? Yes, we trade silver, we trade gold, and we're going to be start trading stocks as well in the Crypto Citadel, like Nvidia, Tesla, Meta, stuff like that. So we're going to be trading it all along with crypto. All of that is going to be covered in the Crypto Citadel. If you don't know what the Crypto Citadel is, the Crypto Citadel is my private trading community. It is $5 a day to be in there. You get daily chart analysis and trade setups, my 1 hour and 36-minute trading course, my exclusive trading indicators that I've created myself, live trading sessions that I do every morning, Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., and my trade signals, whether they're daily trades or they're swing trades, they all get posted in there, and you guys can participate in that. And you can get 50% off your first month with the code CITADEL50. CITADEL50 if to get 50% off your first month. That's if you just want to dive right in, skip the webinar, and go right into the entire trading course and all the trading, along with the charting and analysis. That's where you want to be. This is where you want to go, the Trading Citadel. Now, if you on the testing waters, right, you're like, oh, I just want to figure out, see if this is even for me. Can I even understand it? Then the trading webinar is for you, where you can get your feet wet with charting and understanding market structure. And then if you want more, you can join the Crypto Citadel. It's that simple, guys. I'm 100% transparent with you guys at all times on what it is that we're trying to do here. So, bro, we can't see anything on your screen. I understand you can't see anything on the screen because you're over on TikTok. If you want to see the whole screen, you got to go on over to YouTube, Blockchain Crusader on YouTube. Let's see here. If you bought altcoins or Bitcoin in 2021, then you made good money. Absolutely, Peter. 100% agree. 100% agree. From the 15th of January, we could go quite high with altcoins too. Definitely a possibility. I don't know why you're saying January 15th exactly. I don't know what type of data or news you're looking at that's saying anything about January 15th. But yes, in quarter one, lots of things are going to be potentially happening for Bitcoin and overall global markets, right? Another thing to note is that if you're not in the Crypto Citadel just yet, on January 1st, we're going to be getting a massive dump of data. A massive dump of data that's all going to be analyzed in the Crypto Citadel, right? We're getting the new yearly range and trend. We're going to be getting the new yearly 6-month range and trend. We're going to be getting a quarterly range and trend. We're going to be getting a monthly range and trend. We're going to be getting a lot of macro data that is all going to be posted in the Crypto Citadel under the macro charts, right? If you guys don't know what that looks like, I'll give you a little quick glimpse here of macro charts, right? Full analysis breakdown on any altcoin and obviously Bitcoin included, along with gold and silver and any stock as well. Full breakdowns of market macro structure for those assets, right? All going to be posted in there. They're all going to start coming out January 1st. It's going to take me about a month to get through the grand majority of them, as it is a lot of data to go through. So if you don't want to miss that data, make sure you're in the Crypto Citadel, guys. If you're not analyzing data, you guys are setting yourself up to get crushed. This is the last year you can do wash trades. What are you talking about? You talking about harvesting losses? Are you talking about harvesting losses, like where you can trade, sell for a loss today, and that same exact moment just buy it back? Is that what you're talking about? What's going on, TikTok Master? We are in a bear market. Well, we're definitely in a bear market for altcoins. Bitcoin's still in a bull market, still holding up very well, holding up higher lows overall. I think there's a lot of tax selling end of year. Oh, that's definitely something that happens for sure, especially in the first month to February, first 2 months of quarter one. Definitely a lot of that happens, right? When tax season happens. And by the way, guys, if you're not already preparing yourself for tax season in crypto, in whatever, right, make sure you're using Decrypt Tax, right? Long-term sponsor here of the channel. Decrypt Tax is the guy that I use, the company I use for all my crypto taxes. Fantastic technology to make sure that they read all your transactions on all your MetaMask, exchange wallets overall. And it's fantastic to just be able to automate that process and get all your transactions and know exactly how much you owe in taxes. Because there's no point in making all this money in crypto or in silver or in gold or in any market if you're not going to pay your taxes and then go to jail. Like, it's that simple. So appreciate all of you guys out here. What's your take on Aster? Let's go take a look at Aster's chart. I don't have a personalized opinion about Aster, but we can take a look at the chart for Aster. Not a lot of data so far, as it did come out back in October 2025, October 6th of 2025. So let's go take a little look here. Overall, it looks terrible, right? Just nothing but down for this thing. Nothing but down. So still not a lot of data here. Not really going to waste too much time charting it. We are currently below the previous month low of 81 cents. We need to get above that to start making a climb to the upside. If not, it looks like we're struggling here, potentially just heading lower. Let's take a look here. Silver. See, where's Bitcoin at? Let's jump down to the 15-minute for Bitcoin. I am looking for a possible short opportunity on Bitcoin today. If a certain condition is met, around 88,000, if we sweep that area and get rejected, I will be looking for a short from that area to the downside. Silver here, still pushing, currently at $76. It is officially breaking out of the Asia high, breaking out above the Asia high of $75. We have closed the new hour, and we are well above $75. Now, the question is, if we come back to 75, will it hold as support? It should hold as support, as we do have some anchored VWAPs here. So, unless we lose $75 on the retest, there's no reason to be looking lower right now for silver. Right now, I would be keeping my eye on at $78 to $79, which is where the gold pocket is to the upside. We also have the previous week high for silver there. So if we hit this area and sweep, then I would be looking for a potential short opportunity if the sweep condition is met. If not, higher we go. If you want to take that long to the upside, I would wait for the retest to $75, $75.20, $75.30. See if that area holds as support. If it does hold as support, that was where I would be entering my long for silver, looking for $78 to $79. Now, if you guys are thinking, oh, that's not a big move, guys, that is a move of about 4.76 to about 5% to the upside. A fantastic move for a day trade. Are we seeing price increase on XRP at the end of the year, or just a market manipulation? Guys, it's not price movement or market manipulation. It's either all manipulated or it's not manipulated, right? There's not manipulated when it doesn't do what you want, and it's not manipulated when it does what you want, right? So it's either always manipulated or never manipulated. So that thought process of, if it does exactly what I want it to do, it's not manipulation. If it doesn't do what I want it to do, it's manipulation, guys. That is the thought process of people that do not read data and charts and just go based off what content creators are feeding them. And I want you guys to get away from that mentality and be able to read data yourselves. Are you trading on crypto? Yes, I do trade crypto. Obviously, I mainly trade Bitcoin. We're taking a look at silver just because silver has been very exciting here these last couple of weeks. Can you chart ZBCN supports and resistance? Yes, we can. I was tracking that for a while. It's been a while since I've looked at it. Let's go take a look here. Let's go take a look here. Oof. Okay. Not too terrible. Not too terrible at all. All right, let's get the previous 2-month range here. I don't know anything about this project, besides the fact I know it's something to do with it on the XRP blockchain or something like that. So we're below the previous 2-month range here. We're below the Q3 range. We're currently sitting right at the previous quarter low, right, of 0.0023. If that area is lost, our next target is the previous month low of 0.0021. So that is going to be something to be looking for as the next target to the downside. If that previous month low does not hold, then our next big target to the downside is 0.0018 to the downside for ZBEC. Now, ZBEC needs to make a big push to the upside, needs to reclaim the monthly open here at 0.0029 for any significant push to the upside, in the long term. But meanwhile, we continue heading. We're making lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. If we keep making lower highs and taking out the lows, we are heading lower. Now let's go back over to Bitcoin, 15-minute chart. Let's see what Bitcoin is doing. Bitcoin's still just chopping sideways here, not giving us an entry on our short yet. Silver still pumping, $76.48. They signed banks, good partnerships, ISO 2200. So has XRP, right? XRP is ISO 200 and has signed the banks and give or take and this and that. Everybody's like, oh, ZBEC's the next XRP. But if XRP hasn't really accomplished fundamentally anything, right? It's all straight up speculation still after so many years, right? They're still not actively really doing much at all. Why would ZBEC be any different? Why would ZBEC be any different? Those days of the Coinbase listings, yeah, it still has a small effect, but long term, it doesn't last. Do you think the Bitcoin ETF was a good or bad thing for crypto? So the Bitcoin ETF is a double-edged sword. It's good and it's bad, right? The good thing is it legitimizes Bitcoin, right? You have BlackRock and all these major institutions putting their name on an ETF for Bitcoin, for spot Bitcoin. It legitimizes Bitcoin in the eyes of retail and everyone else out there that has ever doubted Bitcoin. It's like, well, if Bitcoin was such an illegitimate market and such a terrible asset, why in the world would BlackRock and all these other massive institutions be associated with it, right? So that's good. It's also good in the fact that there's a lot of traditional money that is all stuck in the stock market, right? There are billions and trillions of dollars in the stock market that is never going to leave the stock market and go into Coinbase, right? They're not going to pull out I'm going to pull out my whole family inheritance or whatever it is, right? My trust fund that's worth millions and millions of dollars, and then I'm going to go buy Bitcoin. I'm going to open up an exchange, transfer all that money over, and go buy Bitcoin over there. Some very wealthy people have already done that, but those have been very early adopters, right? Like the Gemini brothers and, other people like Max Kaiser and stuff like that. But the very traditional non-crypto people that are still in the stock market are not going to do that now, right? They're going to just go and buy the ETF because they allows their money that's already in the stock market in a system that they trust and they know how to use, and they can just move money around from different assets into the Bitcoin ETF and get exposure to Bitcoin which is good for the Bitcoin price overall in the long term, right? Now, the negative is that, as you guys can see, there's still a lot of OTC buying on Bitcoin, right? Like MicroStrategy buys on OTC. They buy and the price doesn't really move. It doesn't move to the upside. It usually leads to a dump, right? So a lot of this OTC buying is not allowing price to really have a major run up just yet. There's still a lot of derivatives trading as well on Bitcoin that, with leverage, the futures, all that stuff that can push the price down easier than push it up when it comes to the spot buys and the in-kind exchange and all this stuff. So it's good and bad. There's also obviously the bad. There's also the concentration of Bitcoin into these massive whale markets, along with MicroStrategy and stuff like that. So there's pros and cons to everything, man. There's pros and cons to everything. Bitcoin just chopping sideways, not giving us an entry here for a short. Gotta wait and see if silver gives us an entry for a potential retest here to enter a long to go towards 78 or 79. But if we lose 75, we're dropping back. Appreciate everybody in here smashing those likes, hitting that subscribe. If you're just in here, guys, this guy, Aman, is a scammer. Do not message him. He is not going to send you any amount of money. That is a scam, guys. Get blocked, my friend. So if you want to start learning how to read charts, right? If you want to learn how to start reading charts, make sure you are signing up with the link in the description to the free webinar, guys. Free webinar this Sunday, January 4th, 11 a.m. Eastern Time on Sunday, 5 days from today, on the first Sunday of 2026. All you need is your name and email. You can RSVP and get a spot reserved for you. There is limited spots for people, so make sure you guys are signing up as soon as possible and don't miss out. We're going to be covering market structure, market resistance, right? How to identify resistance, how to identify support, structure, trends, and targets within those structures and trends. It is the same webinar. If you missed last week, you're like, oh man, I was super hyped to go, but I missed it for whatever reason. It's going to be the same webinar, so you will be able to catch it. If you're wanting to get into trading, wanting to get into the crypto citadel, heard me talk about it, don't know if it's worth your money yet, this and that, the webinar is the way to go. It's going to give you the everything, the look behind the curtain to understand how to start charting and is this worth your time and money, right? So if you want those questions answered, just show up to the webinar. It is free. Government is going to create a single coin. All these other ones is going to zero. So yes, the government could create its own coin. It's called the CBDC, right? Central bank currency. But whether that happens or not, right? That's not going to dilute Bitcoin's worth. So a lot of people believe that that's what XRP is going to be. XRP is going to be that one coin that takes over the world. But I love your comment saying the elite won't let the rest of the world get rich or something like that. That's what you're trying to say? Won't let other people get rich. 100% agree, which is why is my biggest thesis since 2018 that all these XRP accumulators that are talking about the world, the massive shift in the world, the flip of the switch, taking over the SWIFT system, that XRP is going to take over everything, makes absolutely no sense. There's too many people out there that hold too much XRP, and all these price predictions of $589, $1,000, $100 make no sense. And market cap, they love to argue that market cap doesn't mean anything and that it can go to a $250,000,000 market cap, a higher market cap than every other asset in the world. Make it make sense, guys. XRP is not going to do that. Hey, what's going on, Vibes from Australia? Good to see you, brother. Good to see all of you guys in here. Thank you so much for smashing those likes. Thank you for hitting that. Thank you for signing up for the webinar. I see you guys signing up here. Thank you so much. Good to see all of you guys. Hope you guys are, securing your spots. Unrivaled, what's going on? Long time no see. I've been with the family, working crazy hours, man. Good to hear from you, man. Good to see you. Hopefully you can go back in the crypto citadel, man. We're doing a lot of stuff with silver, gold, and stocks now, man. So I'm glad you're doing good. Glad your family's good. We miss you in the Crypto Citadel, brother. Exit Velo says, I'm part of the Citadel. Goal in 26 is to spend more time with you to sharpen the sword. Let's go. Good to see you, Velo. Good to see you, man. Let's go. Been in the game since 2014. That's fantastic, man. Buying Bitcoin since 2014. That's great. Silver here still making a push, $76, trying to break out of yesterday's range. If we break above, what is it, $76.77, we're going to be pushing for this 78 to 79, right? Entry for a potential long to that target to the upside would have to come in if we retest 75.30, 75.17. That is, that would be the entry for a retest for a long for 78 if it holds. Another scammer. Jeez. Hold up. Get blocked. No, nobody's going to send you. Nobody is going to send you $5,000 or $8,000 to the first 5 people that message him. No, that is how you get. That's how you end up losing your money and getting liquidated or hacked. Unrival says, I'm getting buzz about Zora. Any takes? I've seen a lot of content creators, the usual content creators, all about Zora, and everybody wants you to sign up with their affiliate link to Zora, to the Base Chain app or whatever, the Base Chain wallet app, and they want you to sign up with their link and get all their affiliate stuff to get all their volume and all this stuff. But honestly, haven't really looked at it haven't really been looking at it in detail of any kind. Let's see what Zora's chart looks like. Okay, so just at a quick glimpse here, we are below the previous month low, which is not good. We are coming into the previous week low here of, oops, sorry, this just updated. We're currently losing the previous week low, sorry. Losing the previous week low, we're below the previous month low. Next target to the downside would be around 0.037. We're at 0.038 right now. I know it's not a big deal, but it is the next local target to the downside from where we are. We need to start getting above the previous month low. We want any significant move to the upside. And the previous month low is sitting at 0.046. The quarterly open and monthly open is sitting at 0.047, 0.048. So that 0.046 to 0.048, very critical area. Obviously, this is going to be resetting in the next 2 days, the quarterly, the monthly, the 6 month, the yearly. But overall, we're in a very steep downtrend here for Zora. Made a little bit of a double top here between August and October, and now we're heading lower. So be very careful here. David says, just signed up for your webinar on Sunday. Looking forward to it. Will there be a link sent to me? There should be a link sent to your email. Yes, there should be a link sent to your email. If not, make sure you send me a DM on TikTok and I'll get you squared away. When will be bullish the crypto? When will the crypto be bullish? Well, Bitcoin needs to make its big move. Bitcoin needs to get back above the $96,000 price point, reclaim the previous year range, right? Reclaiming the previous year range is what is going to allow Bitcoin to run for those higher targets. If it cannot do that, right? If we cannot get back into the 2025 yearly range above 96,000, we are not going to be able to run to 104 or back to 120. Right? We definitely have a lot of targets around 114 that we need to be aware of, but that's the only way it's going to happen is by getting back in this yearly range. We get rejected at this yearly range, 96 to 98,000, and we're going to be heading down towards that $67,000 price point. I can tell you that. Let's see here. Still expecting Bitcoin to drop down to 86,000 But we'll see here if we get, maybe we get a retest of this Asia low. Actually, this is the Asia high. But I'm looking for a short here from the London high around 88,000. If we get the sweep of the London high, looking for the short down to 86,300. Back on over to silver. So in the webinar, David, the webinar is going to be focused mainly on identifying market structure, right? It's not so much so that you can become a day trader. Yes, you can trade with the indicators and the strategy I'm going to teach you, but you need a lot more than just that for active day trading. It's going to help you identify market structure, resistance, support, right? Targets within that structure and those trends, right? Market trends and market structure along with targets for those trends. So if the trend is down, what are the down targets? Is it also support? And to the upside, the same, right? Is a target to the upside and resistance. Now, this is going to be on the larger time frames, mostly focused on the daily. So you can use it for swing trading and you can scale it back down. The same exact strategy, you can scale it down to the 15-minute chart if you want, which is what we do, and use it for active day trading. But it's only an hour-long webinar, so there's only so much I can teach you in that 1 hour. If you want the full trading course, right, the full trading course to become an active day trader like we do in the Crypto Citadel, my private trading community, then joining the Crypto Citadel will get you access to my 1 hour and 36-minute trading course. That 1 hour and 36 trading course does break down all the different indicators individually so you can understand how to use them, how to set them up with proper settings on your charts, and then has videos putting them all together to actually actively manage a trade and how to open trades on these crypto exchanges, how to use leverage, how to use a proper stop loss, how to use proper risk management so that you don't get wrecked, right? And obviously being in the Crypto Citadel gets you access to my live trading sessions along with the trading course where I trade live every day, Monday through Thursday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. And by doing that, you're going to be getting more active practice on what you're learning from the trading course, and you can follow along to eventually just go off on your own. But yeah, the course is not so that you can have to become an active day trader. It's mostly so you guys can just start reading data, right? Just with what you learn in the webinar, you're going to be able to help you as a long-term investor analyze charts and know a little bit more of where the market is headed in the long term, right? In the next couple of weeks, months, give or take, which will help people drastically and be able to walk away from the FOMO and hype and fear that, you know, content creators push on their content. Yeah, let your buddies know, let everybody know. Make sure you guys sign up as many. There's a limited spots available, so make sure you guys sign up as quickly as possible and register that, guys. It is 8:20 here. I am going to be getting off of here and getting ready to go live with the Crypto Citadel to start trading at 9 a.m. Eastern time. So if you guys want to go trade with me in the Crypto Citadel, yeah, interrupted there. If you guys want to go trade live with me in the Crypto Citadel now at 9 a.m., make sure you guys go and sign up to the Crypto Citadel right now. It's $5 per day, 50% off your first month with the code Citadel50. The link is in the description of the video. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're on TikTok, the link is in the link tree, right? It's the second one right here. You can sign up for the monthly or you can get lifetime access. But this is what it's like. It's you sign up, use code Citadel50, get 50% off your first month. You get access to my trading course, my daily trade analysis, my long-term macro analysis, my live trading sessions, my exclusive trading indicators that I've programmed to myself, and much more, guys. So you guys can get access to all of that. 50% off your first month to try it out with the code Citadel50. I'm going to go drink some water, get hydrated, and get ready for the trading day with the Crypto Citadel here. So guys, like always, I'm Blockchain Crusader, crusading through these blockchains, and I'll see you in the Crypto Citadel. See ya.